Thank you. Nilikuwa nasema hivi, last expense ni kitu muhimu sana. Maybe we can consider it on its own. I'll also refer to optical and dental. Because when you combine with the inpatient limit, na tunajua umelazwa, maybe you had a chronic ailment that itakula hiyo yote. We have not added the specialist or doctor's fees there. Hiyo yote itazama. Then sasa, at the end of the day, unapata, ume-exhaust hiyo benefit ya last expense. To me, naweza refer iwe on its own. Because it is a very important nini cover to me. Asante.
I can take one more then I answer.
Umesema mtu kama ame-exhaust cover yake, the limit, haezi pata chochote. Supposing maybe within my limit, nimebakisha like around 10,000. Will I benefit?
Thank you. Let me answer these two questions first. Now, I'll start with the simple one. At times, umeenda hospitali, a member umetumia hapa 280. Umechukua cover ya 300 iko 280. The 20,000, that is what will be processed. So, tunaangalianga cover balance, then what is remaining, ndio inaweza kulipwa. Now, if funeral expense is a free benefit, haijakuwa pale kwa premium, haijakuwa accounted for. It has not been charged. It's a pure free benefit that we negotiated for members. Now, the one you're asking is very important, and it's a very good idea for the cover. And I'm very glad I'm with the person who developed that standalone product, ambayo I think if we allow, we can look at it. Na ambayo it purely looks at last expense, and it actually even has, it is a very exciting product. Well, death is not exciting, but the product itself is very exciting, that you can be able to cover up to 10 members. Kama ni mimi, niko hapa, niko na my spouse, ina cover watoto hadi watoto 4. Then it also looks at our in-laws, my parents, wote wawili, and my parents-in-law. Hao ni watu 10, and you pay 1 premium. Ataweza kutueleza, and of course with the itakuwa with the management ambayo tunaweza iangalia. Thank you very much for that question. Ingine moja, leo tulisema tuko na masaa mawili. Ndio ulisema?
Tafadhali muulize maswali.
Sasa, okay, you have a question? Yes.
Ulisema kwamba hiyo hulipwa net of what NHIF has paid. How much does NHIF pay?
Thank you. Now, there are 3 tiers of hospitals in Kenya. There is a tier 1 that includes zile hospitali kubwa. Tunazijua zile hospitali kubwa, the world class treatment. Mmoja ni tunazijua Aga Khan, ingine Mpisha, ingine Nairobi, ingine Mata, ingine ni 6. Gertrude's, ingine AAR Avenue is in tier 2. Hizo 6. There are 6 hospitals. Ukienda huko na 1,200, by next day utakuwa umeisha, si ndio? Na tunajua vizuri sana. Then kuna tier 2. Kuna Coptic, but Coptic siku hizi inaegemea, I think within another 1 year itaenda tier 1. But sahi kuna Coptic. Avenue is tier 1 half, tier 2 half. Cost zake pia ni favorable kidogo. Kuna Nairobi West, Nairobi Women, Metropolitan, unazijua hizo, we can mention them, hizo ni tier 2. Then kuna tier 3, and tier 3 sasa ni zile mission hospitals zetu. Kuna Nazareth, kuna tunazijua St Francis, St Mary's, Diopa, ingine Scholastica, ile ya pale ya Uzima, Uhai Neema, Jamaa Hospital, is Sanitaya 3. That's where our mission hospitals are. Now, NHIF ikona now with the tires, that tunaita rebate. Hiyo yenye kile kiwango wanalipa depends on the hospital. For example, ukalazwa Mpisha inawapatia 4,000 a day. General ward bed ya Mpisha is about 12,000. About 12,000. General ward bed ya Coptic is 4,000. Actually 3,000. About 4,000 there about. General ward bed ya St Mary's ni 700. Ndio, think 700 800 there about. General ward bed usiku moja ukilala hospitali. Now, with that, depending on the type of the hospital, kuna hiyo rebate ambayo inalipwa. So that is now, if for example nimeadmitiwa St Mary's for a week, those are 7 days. So the NHIF ingekuwa inalipa labda kama ni 400 ni 400 times 7. Kama sina NHIF at the end of the admission, lazima nitoe hiyo pesa 2,800. I've answered your question. Swali ingine? I can proceed with your permission. Lakini ukikumbuka kuna kitu hatujamaliza, please just interrupt. Ila tutaenda tu, ukikumbuka kama kuna swali, just feel free to raise your hand, then we are able to answer. Now, for this option, unaona kuna M+1, M+2, M+3, M+4. If ukachukua cover ya 200,000, kama wewe ni member peke yake, wewe peke yako, utalipa 4,200. Na hii pesa si mwezi, ni mwaka. Ukilipa leo ni 25th of March, utalipa ingine 24th of March next year. That is when your 4,200 itaisha. Kama ni wewe, uko member wewe na spouse wako. Inaweza kuwa ni mimi na spouse wangu, inaweza kuwa ni mimi na mtoto wangu, lakini lazima akuwe nuclear family, sio mimi na mzazi wangu. Tunaelewa? So kama ni mimi na mtoto wangu, that is a family of 2. That is why tunalipa 5,600. Kama ni mimi na wengine wawili wa familia yangu, nuclear family, tunaenda 7,000. And kama up to M+5 ni mimi na labda kuna bibi na kuna watoto 4. Labda kuna mimi na kuna watoto 5. That is why it is 11,200. Hii benefit iko shared na sisi wote. It's a shared benefit that the person who gets sick first is the person who is able to benefit from this benefit. And of course, let me ask, feel free to answer. In this room, how many of us have been admitted in the last 2 years? Tumelazwa hospitali the last 2 years? 1, 2. So I'm only seeing 2 people. Tuko wangapi? At a random, we are about 50 of us. Sindio? So kwa familia yangu mimi na labda watu 4. Unless sisi wote tulikula chakula mbaya, that is the only time we'll be admitted at the same time. Otherwise, the 200,000 will take chance that out of sisi labda ni mmoja atakuwa mgonjwa. However, kuna wale wanaweza sema nikiangalia 4,200 is affordable, I can afford mimi kila mtu kwa familia yangu akuwe na yake. So nitachukua pale 4,200. So ni mimi, kuna my wife, kuna my daughter, tuko 3. So 4,200 times 3. Kila mmoja wetu atakuwa na 200,000 yake with the benefits zile ambazo tumeeleza. The next one. So ukichukua ya 300, si pia sasa tunaona sasa inaanza 6,000 inaanza 6,000, 8,000. Sasa sisi ni experts. So we can tell actually for every additional dependent unaongeza 2,000 hapa. Si ndio? So unaona how it's moving, So for every additional dependent is 2,000. Hiyo ingine ya 3. The other option. Sorry, thank you. You are moving faster than me. So here 500,000. So member peke yake ni 11,700. Member plus one is 15,700. Na inaendelea as per this. Now, let me ask you a question because you have refused me to ask me many questions. How do you decide which limit is the best? Yes? How do you settle on this? Is it options tatu? Tumewapatia options mingi sana eh? How do you decide which is best for myself or me and my dependents? Now, what is the inflation in Kenya sahi? Inflation. The experts, they will tell us it's about 10%. So kama nilikuwa na 1,000 mwaka uliopita, kile ningeweza kununua na hiyo 1,000 sahi lazima nikuwe na 1,100. And sometimes you'll know that sometimes it's not true. Because, for example, last year, we used to fuel at 110. Right now, our fuel is almost 180. Sindio? Hiyo ndio ile, the purchasing power. So, kama nilikuwa na 1,000 last year, ningewekewa petroli lita 9. Saa hii, nawekewa lita 7, lita 5 eh? So, that is now the purchasing power. Same case, now, medical inflation right now is actually worse. Now, kitambo ukienda hospitali, daktari alikuwa anakuona hata kama unakohoa, anajiprotect kidogo. Saa hii ukienda kwa daktari asikie unakohoa, anavaa mask 2. Sindio? You have seen this. Because they are actually most exposed. During COVID, the people who are mostly exposed and the people who suffered mostly from COVID are the doctors. I had a very good doctor that who used to see us. Na nilikuwa namwambia my colleague, after COVID yeye alitoka na akaenda na akasahau yeye ni daktari. Unaangalia wenzako vile wameenda, unajiambia hapana hapa. You see. Now, the doctors have now take care of more precautions. Now, most of our drugs are purchased in dollars. Sindio? We do not produce much here in terms of medication. So if the dollar exchange rate right now is at 135, 140. So you can tell even the cost of medication is that high. So medical inflation is very high. It's actually estimated at 15%, while the rest is 10, medical inflation is 10. So when I go to hospital, the consumables are too many. The doctor has to wear a lot of masks. They have to do a lot of sanitizing to protect themselves. That is one. If you are going to the lab, the reagents are extremely expensive. So medical inflation is very expensive. Now, where am I heading with this? So with 200,000, that would have been sufficient kitambo, kulingana na ile hospitali wewe mwenyewe unayoipenda iko hapa kwa panel ama ambayo unaona. I would want, if God forbid, hakuna mtu anataka kuadmitiwa hospitali, but in case it happens pale nikaenda pale na wapi naweza taka kuenda. So for Greek we say ugedhukia, ile ugedhukia, in that it's a Greek term. Unajisikiza kimfuko na pia what you want, because medical naonanga, I see my friends, they pay very very religiously. Premium ya gari haijawahi kosa, lakini wewe mwili yako na uko na moja tu, unajua unaweza enda Gregon upate mlango moja ya gari kama imegongwa, lakini wewe ukigongwa ukiumia, you only have your self take care of. So then I would actually, if asked, I'm very selfish on myself and my dependents, I would go for the highest one. But of course, the budget also is something that can be also is a factor. Now, I have discussed about Waumini Basic, where we have covered inpatient only. Now, there are those of us wenye inpatient iko sawa, lakini nimelipa 4,000, 5,000, 11,000, hiyo mwaka sijakuwa mgonjwa, sijalazwa hospitali, na hiyo pesa tu imeenda hivyo. Now, kuna wale sasa wanasema nataka ile cover ya kulazwa na pia naweza enda hospitali nichukue dawa na nirudi nyumbani, which is very good. Now we call it we are calling it Waumini Afya Premium. Sasa now this is now a more a bigger benefit now. Now, this product, the other one, I talked about 3 tiers of hospital. So Waumini basic, hiyo basic looks at it looks at zile hospitali za tier 3. Si nilimweleza zile tiers? Kuna tier 1, kuna tier 2 na kuna tier 3. So Waumini hii ya kwanza inaangalia tier 3, and there are those hospitals zenye tumeweza kueleza ziko kwa hiyo panel. So kwa ile cover ya kwanza huwezi enda Avenue, huwezi enda Coptic, so you can only go to the other hospitals. Sasa tuangalie hii. Now this one has I wanted to look at the ile ya kulazwa na kwenda nyumbani, the in and the out. Now this one is a bit premium kidogo juu ina include tier 2. This includes a bit of the tier 2. Tier 2 ni apart from, with the exception of Avenue, you can go to Coptic, you can go to Nairobi West. So hizo ziko kwa hii panel. Now in the event of, it also has 3 of them. Inpatient ni 500, outpatient ni 300, na kuna hiyo ya 200. Na premium unaona iko for example ukichukua ya 1200 ni 6300, na izaiona pale. Then kuna hii ingine in and outpatient. Nataka kudiscuss sana about outpatient. Outpatient is when ile tulisema unaenda hospitali unachukua dawa zako, umetumwa lab, unaweza kutumia insurance yako. Now this one has 3 options. Unaweza chukua hiyo option D, kuna E, kuna F na kuna G. Now moja hii ya kwanza ni inpatient limit of 500,000, outpatient of 50,000. So ukilazwa hospitali unaweza access 1,500. Ukaenda ile ya kuenda hospitali na kutoka kuchukua dawa matibabu unaweza chukua 50,000. You can access 50,000. So uko na cover ya 500 na kuna ingine ya 50. Tuko pamoja hadi hapo sasa nikakuwa mimi mwenyewe, mimi peke yangu nitakuwa nalipa 26,000, 26,776. This benefit is shared. So kama ni mimi nimeongeza bibi or mtoto wangu mmoja, nikuwe mimi ni mimi na mtoto wangu, nitakuwa nalipa 45,000. Nitakuwa nalipa 45,517. Kama naongeza mimi, kuna bibi, kuna mtoto, ama mimi na watoto wawili, that is M+2. A family of this M+2 is a family of 3, myself and 2 dependents. So nitakuwa nalipa 53,000 na inaendelea hivyo. Hiyo ni moja. Naweza sema nitachukua cover ya 500, lakini badala ya 50 nichukue 40. Ile option E. Tunaiona 500,000 inpatient na 40,000 outpatient. Hii nitakuwa nalipa, unaona premium inashuka kidogo So and it goes like that up to the last option hiyo ya 1,200, lakini outpatient imeanza 330,000. So and you can see the premium 16,781, 28,528 naenda hivyo. Hadi hapo kuna swali? Kuna swali? Yes.
Swali yangu ni mali tulianzia, kuna mali kulikuwa kumeandikwa additional premium per person.
Yes.
But ilikuwa I don't know, ilikuwa ina change. What does it mean?
Now, tukifanya hesabu tuliangalia for example umechukua hiyo option ya 1,300. So 1,300 inaanza kama ni mimi peke yangu, member peke yangu ni 6,000. Ndio? So ni kama ni mimi alafu niko na watoto 5, so kila mtoto ni 2,000 times 5, 10,000 plus ile 6, so inakuja 11,000. Kuna familia ambao ni M+7. So hii yangu ilikuwa imefika M+5. So for every extra dependent unaenda ukiongeza 2,000. Ili ya kwanza tulikuwa tunaongeza 1,400. Ili ya 1,200. 1,300 tunaongeza 2,000. 1,300 tunaongeza 4,000. I hope I've answered your question.
Umetuambia the premiums are per year or per month?
The premium are per year. Ukilipa una calculate 1 year 365 days. If it's a leap year 366.
Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Nafurahia sana vile unatupeleka na mtaratara wa bima na vile umetuelezea juu ya cover. Sijasikia ukituambia juu ya age group ama limits pande huo, because umetuambia tu dependents, alafu umetuambia pale M+7. Sasa wale M+7 ile age group tunataka kujua mnakava mpaka kiwango kipi?
Thank you very much. Hapo ndipo sasa tunaelekea. Now, I'll start with the easy question. Who is a dependent? Is the person who directly relies on you, sindio? And me, maybe I will say I want to be the breadwinner, so I have those directly ambao I'm answerable to in the evening. Nikikosa kwenda kazini hawatakula. That is one, my wife, and my wife is my dependent forever, sindio? And I'm also her dependent forever, because marriage is 50-50. I'm her dependent forever. I have also children. These children, the law recognizes them as dependent up to the age of 18 years. After 18 years, like we say in Greek, nejui hore. Ni chicken that has been chased away from home. It's how my mother used to say it. I grew up in Muranga, in Greek Muranga. So my mother used to tell me, if you do not, ukikataa kusoma, ukimaliza form 4, wewe uende utoke kwa hii nyumba uende ukatafuta kama wanaume wenzako. Right now, our education system recognizes that after 18 years ndio mtu amaliza form 4. Na hapo ndipo masomo sasa inaanza. Anaenda ile ya the university, colleges, tertiary institution. By the time anafika 24 years, sasa huyo ni senior juihore, sindio? After 24 years, huyo ni mtu anafaa kuwa ametoka kwa nyumba kabisa. So if you are between 18 and 24, you need to produce an evidence that you are in school to be included in your parents' cover. However, there are certain also conditions. You may have a child who is dependent on you forever. For example, in the case of disability. So if you have a dependent who is disabled, who is reliant on you entirely, then kuna ile inaitangwa disability card wanakuwa wanapewa. You just produce that evidence, then atakuwa kwa cover yako forever. Tuko moja hadi hapo. See, there's something else I was missing before I got there's something else on the dependents I wanted to emphasize. It will come to me. Now, the other second question, the maximum entry age, hiyo hapo. Sasa, as we grow old, above kuna ile if me nikiwa ule mtu wa insurance ambaye in my field nimesoma kuangalia we were talking about mortality tables here. Now, if I want to take insurance, if I want to sell insurance, my best customer is not the young ones. Well, between 0 and 5 years, and actually 12 years, wanakuanga na homa mingi sana. But after 13 years, there is that your natural immunity kicks in, and up to the prime of 35. Hapo huo mtu before aende hospitali, unless ni accident. Sikunaona how, unless there are those maybe probably wakona certain conditions here and there, but how watu hawaendangi hospitali. So kwa insurance, they are the best preferred people by any insurer because they are low risks. Then tunakuja pale 45. Martin has been drinking since he got money. So after 45 years, amekuwa every Saturday after anapitia pale Sharina choma kidogo, so gout imeanza kumwandama. Last time I was training people, I was telling them, me identify myself as six pack. I'm doing something about this. So by 45, hiyo kitambi na hiyo kutofanya exercises, hiyo we call it sedentary lifestyle. So we are candidates for hypertension, diabetes, ndio imeanza kukikine. Still we can manage juu tunaendanga tu outpatient. Sasa Martin ako 55, anaelekea kuretire. Then hapo kunakuwa na shock of life. Nimezoea kuamka kila asubuhi for the last 30 years, naendanga waumini. So naacha kila watu nyumbani, nimewapanga, I give them instruction, nakuja tu jioni, weekend naenda kanisa mapema, mass very early in the morning, niko na chama afterwards, Monday niko kazini, and that is my last 30 years. Then naamka Monday na sina kwa kuenda, I'm 60 years. So unapatwa na crisis ingine. So I have a lot of free time and I don't know what to do. So hapo tuna hiyo shift of life. I know we can relate, we have seen it, even if not ourselves. So when that life changes, so hapo ndipo ile sukari ya 45 years sasa imemature, ile pressure ya 45 years sasa imemature. Sasa mimi nimeanza, niko na machine ka pressure, niko na machine kale ka sukari, arthritis kikwa baridi kidogo kama saa hii nimeanza. So sasa wewe na insurance, mimi kama mtu wa insurance nikiangalia risk, nione haki hawa watu wako above 60 years, unajuanga hapa ni kubaya. So now me today I'm not, mimi tumesema sisi we do not broker for you, we broker the insurance. So I'm just telling you as it is and how an insurance person looks at the facts. So it becomes extremely expensive to get now insurance above 64 years. So for this product, the maximum entry age is 64 years. After 64 years, huwezi ingia kwa hii cover. Lakini kama uliingia at 60 na umekuwa ukirenew, you can unaweza continue. Lakini kama ukiingia hapo kwa hii sasa inakuwa ngumu. I've answered your question. Continued up to the age. Insurance, as I started by saying, is a game of numbers. The healthy takes care of the sick. So the more numbers we have, the more our risk is distributed. Like we said in this group, we only saw out of 100 people, only 2 people were admitted. So, and it actually answers the question that hata tukakuwa, the more tuko wengi, the more tunaweza kuabsorb our members. At the moment, Caritas Nairobi has really pushed us to ensure that, especially wale walianza hizi groups, we do not leave them. So we are, however, the premium will not be the same. The premium itakuwa slightly kidogo because of the additional risk. But tuko nayo hapa. My colleague is able to show us shortly on that option. Wale ambao ako above 64 years. But here, it is between 0 up to 64 years entry age. I hope I've answered your question. Yes.
Kidogo tu kabla Lucy, kuna mtu aitwa Lucy wa Idhaka, unahitajika panje kidogo.
Umejibu vizuri sana na umeongea juu ya claims hapo hivyo. Lakini tukiangalia claims ratio, pengine mimi wasiendi hospitalini sana. Are you going to increase the premium?
Thank you very much. Now, there are certain characteristics, salient features za hii product. I'm answering your question. Nikianza, if leo nikaamka kama Martin, niseme nataka kuchukua insurance, niamke nijipeleke waumini, mimi mwenyewe sijui mtu yoyote, nimeenda insurance. Kuna zile we call them shelf products, ambazo ziko. Now mimi kama mtu wa risk, how I look at that person, Martin amejileta kuchukua insurance. So Martin, there is a likely thing anajua ambayo mimi sijui. Amekuja peke yake, ni yeye amejileta. kuchukua insurance yake. So an insurer will look at one of the risks is that Martin atakuja kuchukua insurance akijua pale mbele kuna kitu daktari amemwambia ambayo inafaa kuangaliwa pale mbeleni. So the first thing nitamwambia, yes, nitakupatia insurance na nitakupatia hizi benefits, lakini ujue nitakupatia 30 days waiting period, that hii kadi nikikupatia outpatient huwezi tumia kwa 30 days. Martin ni kijana na ako na bibi. Usikuje kuchukua hii cover ukijua pale mbele in 3 months or 2 months unatarajia mtoto. So kama ni maternity utangoja 10 months. Tuko pamoja? No, those are things that they are there and you are able to see them. Kuna kitu ingine, kama ni surgery utangoja 6 months. Kama uko nani, I've seen cases like for cancer and it is very unfortunate because I see them and I can't help because the waiting period is 2 years. For you to claim under this for individual cover is 2 years for cancer. Pamoja hadi hapo? Lakini this product I'm presenting to you today, insurance works on numbers. I have come to this group and we said we are about 100 of us. So kwa 100 of us, tunapika githeri. Kuna mbembe na kuna bosho. There are those of us here who will never get sick and they will pay for cover for 10 years, amen, and they will never go to hospital. There are those of us who will pay for the cover, maybe once or twice they go to hospital, and there are those of us who may take the cover and they claim periodically. So I have mixed them together, I have leveled my risk. So kwanza, maternity, nikiingia leo, kesho bibi yangu atake kudeliver, this cover allows you to, there is no waiting period. Hakuna waiting period. Hutangoja because mmekuja nyinyi wote as a group. That is one. So hakuna waiting period. Ile nilikuwa nimwambia maternity, hakuna ile ya outpatient. Nilikuwa nimempatia 3. Hakuna ile ya surgery na hakuna ile ya cancer ya 2 years. So it's because I've taken all of us. So I cannot take niangalie I didn't get your name, sir. John Francis. I cannot say that I'm not looking at the loss ratio, the claim ratio for John Francis. I'm looking at the claim ratio, loss ratio for the Umoja self-help wote. Nyinyi wote. I've answered your question? Thank you.
Okay. What is the difference between Waumini basic and Waumini premium inpatient only?
The difference is the tier of hospitals. You remember his classification said there is tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And tier 3 is the mission hospitals. So Omni Basic is mainly centered at the tier 3 hospitals. But this other cover allows you to go to the tier 2, some of the tier 2 hospitals. Have I been able to answer your question? Yes.
My question is, as you have just mentioned about tires, and I remember the previous speaker talked of asked us whether which preferred hospitals we would like to go. Do you have a list of the tier 3 and some of the tier 2 hospitals that we can go once somebody takes a premium? That's one. Number 2, when you are talking of these outpatient, you limited that into different categories or into different amounts. Now, my question is, I've taken that policy of let's say even 500, and you say my outpatient is 50. Now, suppose we all go for outpatient in the family, depending on where I've taken it. I mean, the class have taken. Are you saying you're only going to pay 50,000 for outpatient? Because I thought maybe when I take 500, 500 will cover me whether I go outpatient or inpatient. The last one that I'm surprised, it appears to me is as if this policy or this insurance is directed or aimed at the whole group taking. So it means if, for example, only 50 people take, there are no likelihood of us getting the benefit, as you call them. But if we take 500 of us, there will be a better benefit. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your questions. And if I've gotten them right, there are three questions. One is about the panel of hospitals. Two is the classification or outpatient and inpatient. And three is are the benefits based on the large numbers. Okay. Now, for panel of hospitals, yes, we have. We have both for the from tier 2 to tier 3 on the various panels that you can, or the various hospitals that you can access. And we can leave the copies with at the office so that you can easily just run through. Is that okay? Yes, the whole list of hospitals. Okay. Now, in regards to outpatient and inpatient, so maybe to give you a genesis of how this product came about. This product came about in regards to safeguarding your savings for all the savings that you've done. Probably you've been saving for the last 15 to 20 years. But an illness can come and wipe out all that. So the main risk was coming in regards to the severity. And the severity being the the inpatient cover. So when we looked at the inpatient, we were looking at this inpatient cover being a family cover, whereby the benefits are shared amongst the family, protecting the element whereby not each and every member will utilize this benefit. So it is a cost-effective way. Now, there came a question of there are families that may want medical cover with the outpatient element as a family shared, and they would also be willing to see how the premium implications are. So when we say the 500,000, that is covering you the inpatient only in terms of admission. However, the 50,000 is outpatient, whereby you go to hospital and you visit a doctor and you leave. You're given medication and leave. The main question that came about when we were having this discussion is the times that we've seen a harambe being called. It's called for which purpose? It's usually the inpatient. It's usually the inpatient, right? It's usually the inpatient cover, right? When you call for a harambe that someone is in hospital and they are unable to pay their bill, is it inpatient or outpatient? Yes.
You could be right.
Yes.
Mostly it is inpatient because that amount is required at once.
Yes.
But we have taken up that premium of 500,000, and the outpatient is only 50,000, and we are 11 members. Now, when you take, for example, when I go to hospital, I spend 3,000. Tomorrow, my wife goes to hospital, she spends 10,000. The following day or another time, my mother-in-law goes to hospital and she takes another 15,000. Now, do you see, within a year, 50,000, will it go far?
One, this cover is restricted to your nuclear family. And I get your question. 7 members in a family, the cover may be small. What we can do in that case, Martin, the outpatient benefit being too small. Though when it is increased, it has a premium implication.
If your spouse is a member of the group and you're a member of the group, you can decide to each take the cover separately. That way, you'll be able to have a higher percentage of outpatient fees.
Sorry, I don't want to seem as if too much on that, but the point is, I think you get my point.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Even if my wife, or let's say a nuclear family of let's say even 4 people, I've taken that cover of 500,000. The limit of outpatient is 50,000. Now, you know this cover is for 1 year, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, if it's for 1 year, from January, we are in March now, since we started 2023, and maybe 2 of us have already taken 30,000 in outpatient, because I don't know, when you talk of class tier 3 hospital, the doctor's fees outpatient, when you go and see the doctor alone, the least they do is 500 shillings, isn't it?
Yes.
And there are other people outpatient that will even ask 1,500 in the same hospital. Now go to the pharmacy, you end up with a bill of so much. So to me, as you call it outpatient, it would have survived if it was outpatient for the total amount. Now, as you use it, doesn't matter, because you are hospitalized or you have used hospital services. But when you now categorize it and say this is outpatient limited to 50,000, I think there's something that is not coming right out of our policy. Thank you.
Mr. Kinyo, asante sana. Vile ameelezea, amesema in case ungependa outpatient iongezwe, unaweza wajulisha iongezwe ikuwe kiasi fulani. Ile yenye imefanywa, wamefanya research kwa hospitali na watu tofauti. Kwa hivyo tafadhali, ukiwa na issue kama hiyo, ndio tusijirudie, unaweza waona kando alafu ufanyiwe hesabu. Is it okay?
Question number 3 was in regards to the numbers. This cover was did not look at the group, the Umoja group alone. It looked at the numbers we are talking about are within the self-help program, the entirety of it. So it is various groups, various people from each and every group that are being factored in, not specifically from here. So have I been able to appease your concern? Okay. Yes. Yes.
At the group,
Mhm.
when I'm below 64.
Mhm.
So when I reach 64, what will happen to me? And I've been in that. Another question: do you have optic and dental?
Thank you very much. I'm left-sided, so better this way. Now, to answer your question, if you get this cover when you are 60 years, you will be able to renew each year. So, ni ile tu when we now are doing when you are doing now the renewal, there is no time you will ever be excluded. The only challenge is uingie hii mwaka, next year usirenew, umefika 65, then ukuje tena. Then that is when you will be subjected to new terms. Lakini kama una renew kila mwaka, you can go all the way. In our groups, I have a member, a priest who is 92 years, and he's still there. So, and we cannot leave him. So if umekuwa ukirenew, I assure you, utawachwa. That is, we give you the award. Then about the optical and dental. Let me ask. I'll start by asking. I'm answering your question. Now, ukienda, are there any members sisi wenyewe tumewahi tumia insurance card? Tumekuwa na insurance. Na ngapi mwahi kuwa na insurance? Very good. Very good. I'm actually saying umekuwa na insurance ya ile siku ulienda kuona dentist na insurance yako ilikuwa na dental? Your cover had a dental.
There was a premium for the dental. Added premium.
Yes. Now, ukienda kuona dentist na cover yako, how much were you charged? What is the average cost for dental visit? If you are going to fanya ile root canal, hata tuseme ni ile kuoshwa, the polishing and the scaling, minimum you will find is about 6,000 to 10,000. Sindio? Ukienda pale kwa optician unaenda kuchukua miwani, what is the minimum bill utalipa? Minimum bill at the moment 10,000. Unfortunately, the most I'm trying to use a very good word na imekosekana kabisa. The most abused benefits ni dental na optical. So pale kwa outpatient, if an insurer is charging them, they have to commensurate that additional risk. For example, nikiingia kwa dentist na cover ya 20,000 na kadi, aone kadi na ni wale wetu wale tunajua, atakuwa anamaliza anakuuliza cover itaisha lini, akupatia appointment, akuja aendelee. You have seen that risk. Now, and for this premium, we wanted to achieve a very competitive rate. So tukiweka dental na optical, actually the rates are there. Should you wish, ziko. So if you need the dental and the optical, the rates are there. Utaweza to add them. Kuna hii ya 20, kuna they start from 10 and 20,000. Ziko. Lakini of course, ka premium katakuwa juu. But now for the purpose of the group, we wanted to as my colleague started by saying, we want to achieve, there is that motto of Caritas. The mission for Caritas. Socio-economic empowerment. So that is what, under the guidance of the patron, that we want to achieve. That we have, whenever you are sick, you are not using the how much the money, the savings that you have accumulated. You have a special insurance that has taken care of or of that. And the main goal is not even the outpatient. The outpatient is because of the research. The main goal is to take the inpatient. Hakuna siku tutaandikiwa kwa WhatsApp group tumechangia Martin bill ya 10,000. Mayona WhatsApp group ya 10,000, 20,000 ya outpatient. It's always the inpatient. And that is where the risk of severity is. So at the bare minimum, we want to ensure that all our members wame enroll NHIF. Even if you do not take this product, we are sincerely requesting that you enroll for NHIF to begin with. Then this cover now comes and supplements what additionally is on top of NHIF. That is how we are able to achieve the mission of the Caritas and the self-help care program. Thank you.
Maybe I can just add something. What Martin is trying to say in short is there is something for everyone. We have the inpatient cover, we have the inpatient and the outpatient cover, we have a cover for people who are above 70 years, and there is a cover that includes optical and dental. It's just that each and every cover comes with a different cost. So the one that he has explained here is for the inpatient, which is cheaper, and then there is one for inpatient and outpatient, which is a little bit more expensive. But there is also one for the dental and optical, and there is one for 70 years and above. So they are all there. It just depends with who wants it.
Yes, question.
Martin, nilikuwa nataka kuuliza the panel of providers.
Yes.
Does it include the doctors? This is a tier 3. And is tier 3 in all the counties? Then on admission cases, sijasikia ukituambia way forward, I'm sick today. Do you need a pre-authorization, letter of undertaking, vitu kama hizo? Then I also need to know on OP. Nataka nisikie upande wa reimbursement, whereby I can pay a doctor and seek my refund from you guys. Santa.
Thank you very much for the 3 questions. Now, the panel of providers is throughout the country. It's a wide panel of providers for the tier 3. Now, tailored to the Umoja locality where we are. You may realize kwa hii panel kuna hospitali ambayo hatujaongeza kwa panel, haiko hapa na ni hospitali ambayo inaweza kutusaidia. Of course, through our management, you are able to advise us, and we promise that this cover is specifically tailored and with the guidance of the team seated here to suit the members here. So we are here to get a local solution. So, but the panel is all over the country. Now, to answer your question, the second question, when you are admitted in hospital, who can admit you in hospital? Nani naweza kuambia leo huendi nyumbani? Ni daktari peke yake, si ndio? So then you mentioned about doctors. Doctors are 100% covered on the tier 3. Now, what is the procedure for admission? Ukienda hospitali daktari aseme wewe huendi nyumbani, tunakaa na wewe hapa. Now, of course they will ask you, how are you footing the bill? Kuna wale cash payer, weka deposit. Uko na kadi ya NHIF, unapatiana. Unaambia mimi niko na kadi and our welfare ambayo all members will be able to that card. You're able to present your medical card. Now, when you are admitted, unlike outpatient, now the hospital has 24 hours within which they are supposed to notify the insurer. So if it's an emergency, the hospital will admit you first, wakushughulikie, alafu wafanye now the paperwork. So the first thing, of course, they will ask who is sponsoring your bill. If it's the insurance card, then wanajaza hiyo form, wanaituma kwa insurance. Nikianza, nilisema kuna wale medics ambayo wameajiriwa, the 24-hour call center. Unaikumbuka? So that bill is sent to that. It is not sent to Martin. I'm not a medic. So my colleague, who is actually one of them who is a medic, was supposed to join us. Unfortunately, she had an emergency. So it is sent to that team. So wanaangalia, so and so is admitted in this hospital. This is what we want to do as management, as in the management for the condition ako nayo. Tunampeleka lab, tunampeleka theater, anaona hawa specialist, so and so and so and so. Akitoka hospitali, so every day wanapata update. The hospital sends an update to the insurer. Wanaangalia leo mgonjwa wetu bill is as of this is what we are doing. During discharge, kuna kitu inaitangwa the discharge summary. The doctor akisema unaenda nyumbani, kujanga anakuona, anaandika those clinical notes, a discharge summary. It is sent to the medics. Mimi kama Martin, anyone here, I cannot even be able to know. I'll only know that George was in hospital, God forbid, George was admitted in hospital. I'm not able to know more than that. Our medics, there is that privacy. It's only sent to the medics. You will hear them answering question. Mgonjwa wangu naona ulimpeleka theater ukamcharge 300,000. Hata wewe ukiangalia hiyo pesa ni naona si umeovercharge. So they will be working back behind the scenes, ensuring that they are not overcharged. You are getting quality treatment. Additionally, you may find if you are admitted more than 3 days, kuna medic ametembea na amejitambulisha, amekuja kuona wagonjwa wake, ensuring that your hospital stays comfortable. Now, when that bill is sent, wanatuma the bill. Of course, wanalesi ile NHIF. Wakituma kwa insurer, lazima alesi ile bill ya NHIF. Kama huna NHIF, unaambiwa ujilipi, hiyo ingine inapatiana authorization, unatoka enda nyumbani. Nikienda for outpatient hainanga authorization. Ile ati authorization, if you are within, we normally give a limit of up to 10,000 and a good about 10,000. Kitambo it used to be about 7,500. Nikienda hospitali nimuone daktari, nifanye of course consultation, niambiwe labda nitaenda lab. If my bill goes above 10,000, that is when the insurer, the hospital, anaambiangwa, no, you need to explain. Unajua ukienda hospitali alafu kucharge, if they are left unchecked, there is a risk that utakuwa naenda na ile 50,000, someone gets excited, runs you from ECG machines to the other end, utumie hizo machines zako cover yako ishe. So if the bill goes past these 10,000, wacha hospitali explain why they want to give you these ones. So then watatuma ka pre-authorizations, we are requesting to do so and so because of A, B and C. Wanatuma kwa insurer, within 5 minutes wanarudishiwa, unaendelea. But kama uko within the below 5,000, you will just go in, present your card, utibiwe, urun, utoke. I've answered your question. Thank you. Reimbursement. Thank you. Reimbursement is tricky kidogo. Now, I want to say there is 100% reimbursement. If you go to a hospital, of course there are two things. Kuna zile rates ambazo hospitali wamenegotiate, insurance na hospitali wamenegotiate. So ukienda hospitali kuna na kadi, kuna hizo rates ambazo zinachajiangwa. For example, if you are seeing a specialist, no, a general physician is 3,000. If you are seeing a specialist, is up to 5,000 maximum. So depending on the specialist who you are seeing. So kuna wale unaweza uende umuone akucharge 10,000. So of course the insurer will pay up to, if you went to a doctor in the panel, how much would you have been charged? So that is one. Number two, muona daktari hafai kukupatia dawa. You know that? A doctor should not dispense medication. A doctor, when they see you, wanafaa kuandika uende kwa mtu mwingine ambaye atadispense. The board, the one that regulates, does not allow them to dispense medication themselves. They write, then you go to a pharmacist who's anajua to the components, milligrams hizo zote, ambayo sasa now who can dispense the drugs. So I've answered your question. The third one, if I go to a hospital that is on the panel, alafu nilipe cash kwa hiyo hospitali, then there's also a risk. So we do not, to avoid your paperwork, we try to discourage the reimbursement kabisa. But if that is not available, then you are able to get reimbursement. For example, umeenda umesahau kadi yako, umepiga simu, maybe it was an emergency, you unasaidika. So we consider that. Now, there's a question, does the cover has a waiting period for chronic? I think I've answered this. You can assist. Si tulikuwa tumesema? Tumesema aje about chronic? I told you I was a teacher. Tulisema juu haujakuja peke yako, hii cover haina waiting period for chronic, you can go immediately. Si ndio tulisema? So you can use your cover for chronic condition pre-existing immediately. Lakini tukasema kuna ka percentage. Tulisema ngapi? 50% of your inpatient, 50% of your inpatient cover. So kama umechukua ya 500, you can access up to, if you have 300, you can access up to, tuko pamoja? Thank you. Now, there's a question we were at the beginning. You had asked about the last expense, and I mentioned. Now, if you allow me, you can just showcase kidogo very briefly on how it looks like. It is not medical insurance. This one, maybe it's just to answer your question, and how it looks like.
So for last expense, this is the standalone option that is there. So for a family of 10 people, for the first option, option 1 of 50,000, the premiums per year are 1,600. So for a family that has, let's say, 5 children, any additional child, the premium is 240 shillings. This goes across board for the children. For 100,000, the premium is 3,100. For 150,000, it is 4,600. For 200,000, it is 6,100. For 300,000, it is 9,100. 400 and 500, that is 12,100 and 15,100. And this is per year. Now, what you can notice is for the children, other than the 50, the children has been, the benefit payout is 100,000 across board. So the maximum payout this cover can pay for a child is 100,000. May you know why it is 100,000 regardless of 500,000 benefits? Anyone who may know why the payout is 100 or it's less than if you go for the bigger benefits? Anyone? This is actually something stipulated by the law, and it is there to protect children. Unfortunately, there are people who may take the 500,000 option, and you have 5 children, and you see 2.5 million running around the house, so to speak. So it is there to protect the children. Any question on this? So this cover pays a maximum of 2 deaths in one period, then it ceases to exist within the year. So the only thing that you can do after that is reinstate. Question? How about now? Have we been able to answer your question? Any question? There's a question.
Jamboni,
Yes, hatujambo.
nafikiri tumeelewana hapo, lakini jambo la muhimu hapo, hiyo pesa inaweza kuwa inalipwa once in a year or it can be paid monthly.
The operational modalities will depend by the group, how the group will decide. You can pay it upfront as a member, or the group can extend it in terms of a facility and you be paying the group on a monthly basis, or depending on how the modality is. But unfortunately, the premiums have to be paid upfront. Yes.
Kuna kitu cha person angependa kugusia kuhusu hiyo kidogo tu.
Asante Martin and George for the good information that you have given our members. Now when it comes to the payment, you have heard it once in a year as you start the premium. So for us as a group, if a member has the money cash, can pay to the group, which will be paid to the medical insurance. And then we have a medical cover loan product that we'll offer to our members, which will give it will be for 10 months repayment period. and an interest of 1% per month per reducing, it will be a self-guaranteed loan. So in that way, members will be able to pay for their premiums. Then on top of that, we'll have another product, a medical cover savings product, where now members, we can start saving money in that medical savings product, and we can access loan for the medical cover, and from that it will be a self-guaranteed. And if you have a loan from the loan guaranteed by the medical cover savings product, the interest will be 5%. So now it will be up to us members. We organize ourselves. Those who have cash, they pay. Those who will be taking loan, then we can start now the medical cover savings product.
My question is just following up about the 50,000 for the outpatient. Now, if it gets finished before the year ends, probably 4 or 3 months, what will happen to me within these 3 months before I can do? What can I do?
Thank you very much for your question. The benefits are structured. They are structured annual. It means the 50,000 is supposed to last you a whole year. And I understand sometimes the frustration, because sometimes if like for example you have a chronic condition, 50,000 sometimes may not be enough. So unfortunately, if you exhaust at month 3, then for the other 9 months you are exposed for outpatient. However, this is what you are saying, that privately, because this now is group based, should you require more outpatient, a bigger cover, then we are able to assist. I think I hope I've answered your question. I get the frustration, especially if you are you're managing a chronic condition, then the 50,000 may be somewhat not sufficient. So if you have that, then you're able to do this. Let me ask a question, just to additionally on this, and this I ask every time I go. How much outpatient do you think is enough? How much outpatient is enough? 200.
Yeah, 200.
Yes. Okay. Just this.
Okay, I was saying that if you could reduce the inpatient to 3 and the outpatient to 200, 300 to 200. Because most of the time, if you are like, you have 2 children, your spouse and yourself, 50,000 would not be enough, because if you are visiting to see, if you go to an outpatient clinic and you are paying like 2,000, the medicine may be 5,000. So in a year, that is it too little.
Thank you very much. Maybe another one before we can answer this.
In regards to the outpatient, let's say probably I went for dental or optical. I used around 5,000 or 10,000 probably for 1 year. And for the outpatient, I've run it for like 45,000. So I have an extra 5,000. So this time I go to hospital and I'm given a bill for 10,000. Remember, the outpatient I have 5,000 and still optical I have a balance. Can I tune up from optical or from dental to cover the outpatient?
That's a question. Let me answer that. Now, I was asking a question. You asked a question. She gave me an answer. Now we start where? Let's start with yours. Yours is easy. If, for example, you have a balance of 45,000, as in you have spent 45,000 out of the 50, so niko na 5,000 nimebakisha. Kwa dental na optical ni 10, but nimetumia 5, so nimebakisha 5. You want to combine them. You go to hospital, you have a bill of 10,000, so you want to spend the 5 and then the other 5 for the optical. Unfortunately, kama ni ya dental, ni ya dental, kama ni ya optical, ni ya optical, kama ni ya outpatient, ni ya outpatient. Now, let me start by saying this. When you are looking at risk, and our risk here today, our risk for all of us is illness. That's our risk, the one that we want to address. The reason why all of us are here is because we want to get solution for if any one of us here needs medical attention, that there is an answer for that. Now, inpatient and outpatient, where is the biggest risk? Where is the biggest risk? Inpatient. So as a prudent financial manager of your home, because all of us are financial managers of our homes, so which risk do you want to take care of first? Inpatient. That is the one that there is that saying which is very disturbing, that most of us middle class are one illness away from poverty. That is true. You have heard it, that ukaenda hospitali uitishwe 3 million, you will have to sell a lot of the assets you have taken years to accumulate. So that is the first thing we want to address. Now, I asked a question: how much inpatient is enough? And there was 200,000, 300,000, and let me tell you, of the research I have done, there is no at any one point you will have enough outpatient. You will never have enough outpatient. Outpatient is more like having money in your wallet. So if I have 200,000, trust you me, I will not go to St. Francis. Nitaenda wapi? Nitaenda Aga Khan, si ndio? Nikienda Aga Khan, average cost ya Aga Khan ni ngapi? So the same way you would have used the 50,000, and this is a study that has been done. It's the same way you exhaust the 200,000. So there is no at any point an outpatient that will be enough. Now there are ways to manage the 50,000. If you have, they are saying, 50. For those especially with chronic ailments who need regular medication, where is usually the cost? The biggest cost is on prescription. And if you agree with me, especially if you have a family member managing diabetes or hypertension, the biggest risk, the biggest expenditure is on medication. And most of this medication unakutanga umetwangwa 30% markup na hospitali. I always advise members, do not buy medicine from the hospital. Mimi niandikie prescription, nitaenda pharmacy, nichukue dawa zangu, vile tulisema nikuje na claim form, nijaziwe, nireimbursiwe. Alternatively, now with the need, insurance has come up with we are calling them the telepharmacies. Telepharmacies, unaenda hospitali, unajaziwa prescription, unai-upload kwa simu yako, drugs are delivered at home. There are those online pharmacies, mwingine tu Alivia Dawa, My Dawa. I always recommend that if you are taking chronic medication, avoid buying them at the hospital pharmacy. You will be charged 30-20% of the markup. That is one. Secondly, if you are if you can hospitali, if you are going every month, so if for example you are managing diabetes or hypertension, you are supposed to have clinics every 3 months. So the other 2 months unaenda kuchukua tu dawa, si ndio? So you do not need to see a doctor. Nikiona daktari si nitachajiwa. So with that prescription, we are able to assist you take your medication on time. Take your medication without necessarily going through the clinics. So those are some of the ways. There are various ways we are able to advise you on managing the 50,000. However, now if this is not enough, we are able now to give you the other bigger option. So, thank you.
I am sure you have members here who have medical covers from different companies. If you look at your medical cover and the benefit it's giving vis-a-vis the premium you pay, I am sure deep down you will realize that this cover is very affordable compared to what you're having. It might not be able to be sufficient because it is also more affordable. But again, I will repeat that there is room for negotiation and we have a product for everyone. So if you feel like the 50,000 is little and you have more money, you can be given a better cover or a more expensive cover that will be able to take care of all your needs. But essentially, this cover is way affordable compared to the other covers in the market.
Maybe kuongezea for those who are online ama wale wenye wako hapa na maybe mngependa kushare information ama kupata information about this session, kindly share your email address and then we'll forward you the session vile imekuwa. Sawa. And then for the ones who are interested, kama umesikiza na umeona inakuvutia, unaweza kuja to register, forms ziko ready na mmeelezewa inaanza immediately. Umeregister unafanya nini, inaanza kufanya, hakuna kungoja kwa muda mrefu. Kwa pamoja alafu singependa tukae sana, kama tunaweza uliza maswali tujaribu kuharakisha kwa sababu muda inaenda. Ama mngependa tutoke saa 8? Sawa, kama mtu ako na swali ama wale wako na maswali waulize, tumalizie hapa alafu tuendelee na shughuli zingine. Tafadhali. Kuna swali ama maoni?
Asante Wycliffe. Martin, kuna wakati ulikuwa umetuambia hatuwezi jipata kwa major providers, tunaongea juu ya tier 3. What about on referral cases? Those cases whereby maybe they cannot be handled from those sides. Maybe you have a congenital or chronic ailment that needs a referral. Tatuelezeaje?
Thank you very much. Now, for if treatment is only available at a one provider, but sometimes we have those complex surgeries that can only be done at tier 1. The insurer will approve within your limits. So that one, be rest assured that the main goal for the cover is to ensure that our members get access to medical care. So if it's not available on tier 1 or tier 2, we will go where it is. There are those also to add, there are those extreme cases that sometimes treatment may not be available locally and you need to go out of the country. All you need is to come forward, then we are able also to assist you, not only with where you are with the hospital, also in terms of where you are going. We also look for good hospital and good quotation. For example, we have done a lot of medical evacuations to India for treatment that is not available locally. So that has been happening. Like we have bone marrow transplant, which is life-threatening. We have like things to do with kidney transplant. Though we have those successful stories here, but there are those that may be complex. So with that, and of course with the you just come forward to our management, and then this is what we have. Get in touch with us. We're able to assist. Thank you.
There is a correction I would like to make about a loan taken against the medical cover savings. The interest will be 0.5. I said 5%. It is 0.5. It is a subsidized for us to be able to take our members, to the welfare of our members at heart. Thank you.
Kuna member ambaye ameuliza online, if at all we can take installments, mtu anaweza lipa na installments. So far we have two options. If you have cash, you can pay cash. And if you don't have cash and you have your savings with the group, you can apply for a loan and then pay for the loan pole pole. But it is within a period of 10 months. Is it clear? And then there's another one asking about the list of hospitals that are provided. Kindly share your email address or your number. We can share through WhatsApp or email address.
I also believe it will be important for the management to ensure that in your website somewhere you have downloads for the medical cover so that the members can be able to access them easily.
We'll make sure the information is in the website so that members can access the information. And then kwa wale wenye wamekuja leo, kuna mmefanya registration, we have your phone number, so you can share through WhatsApp. Or if you will prefer sharing your email address, you can also get the information. Any other question or feedback? Okay, I had told you earlier, wakati tulianza, niliwaelezea kuna mostly watu wakikuja hapo wanajua kuna self help. Sawa? So ningependa kualika mtu ambaye anatoka Caritas Nairobi. Na atawaelezea Caritas Nairobi ni gani, atawaelezea self help ni nini, na bado atagusia kidogo kuhusu bank, alafu atakaribisha watu wa kutoka bank, watatuelezea mambo mawili matatu, alafu kama kutakuwa na swali ama maoni yote tunaweza funga. Sawa? So ningependa kukaribisha Nasimiu atueleze yeye ni nani kwa program na program inahusu nini. Karibu.
Okay. I have been reminded, Martin, you did not talk about 70 years and above. Mulisahau ku project hiyo dakika moja. It is actually 70.
Sorry, I am not running away. I am no longer here because now my brothers are also here. So I said now I take a back seat. For the 70 years and above, they are not forgotten. So we have their rates. So we were able to negotiate as a start, cover 300,000. So for the over 70. So for between now up to 70, up to 69 years, we are able to accommodate this one. With the numbers, we're able to accommodate this. So that's already been settled. So for those who are above 70 years, so their premium is slightly higher kidogo. For member only is 21,000. For the option for 300,000, you'll be paying 21,000. And of course, I explained the reason, the 21,000. So if you're member plus 2, ni wewe na spouse wako, itakuwa 42,000, member plus 1. But this one is purely off if both of you are above the age of 70 years. Thank you very much. And of course, doesn't have the waiting period. Everything else we discussed is the same. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are available to answer your questions. And thank you very much, the team, for giving us this opportunity. We assure you of our support, ensuring that this is a success and that your health is our priority. Thank you.
Tumpige makofi. Tumpige makofi vizuri tafadhali. Asante sana Martin na George. Lakini bado wako around, hawajatoka.
Just for clarity, Wycliffe, who is supposed to register? Is it Waumini or is it you?
Tusaidia kwa sasa, and then for any time from now or maybe later tutawaregister kwa ofisi. So kwa saa hii wenye watatusaidia ni waumini.
Thank you. I will take less than 5 minutes because I was told this session is supposed to take 2 hours. We said at 10. We should be done by midday. We are almost close to midday. My name is Wanjala. I hope my team was introduced. Okay. My name is Wanjala. We work for Caritas Nairobi, and we are the social economic aid of the Archdiocese of Nairobi. What that means is we try as much as possible to ensure that as much as our members or our Christians are okay spiritually, they should also be okay when it comes to other social aspects. And social aspects include your health as well as your wealth, because they are connected in one way or another. What Caritas Nairobi does is to bring together all members in the Archdiocese of Nairobi, Christians in the Catholic Church, and those members who are not even in the Catholic Church, including the Muslims, in such forums where we offer a number of interventions for you. The self-help program, essentially, where Umoja Self-Help Group is part of, is given the mandate to try and build our members economically and socially. And in the economic part, I know you know what we do. We allow you to save and take loans. In the social part, we try as much as possible to provide welfare issues for you. One of them being the medical cover that you're trying to do today. Another one is the benevolent fund that I believe you benefited from. And I know the group holds different capacity building sessions for you so that you can be educated in other areas. Caritas Nairobi, through the help of the self-help groups, was able to form a bank, Caritas Microfinance Bank. I'm sure you've heard about it. And all the members of the self-help groups are shareholders because part of your savings was contributed to form the main share capital for the bank. So as we speak here today, you are a shareholder of the bank and you are actually an owner. Therefore, we always request that you promote the bank because you are part of it and you're one of our own. Today we have a representative from the bank, Mr. Kinyanjui, who has been the zone representative for Eastern Zone for a very, very long time. And he is here to speak about the bank. I believe you can take less than 15 minutes so that you can be able to release the members. Asanteni. Karibu.
Mungu ni mwema na kila wakati. Amesema very many years, sio very many years. Ni miaka 7 tu. Miaka 7 ni nyingi. I was your zone representative for 7 years. Wale pengine when I was the zone representative walikuwa members. Tuinue mkono kama unaona ulikuwa unanijua nikiwa hapo. Kwani ilikuwa miaka gani? 2015 to 2021. Now, I'm speaking here on behalf of Caritas Microfinance Bank. And as Nasimiu has said, the bank was started about 7.5 years ago. That was on 15th of June, 2015. She has also said hii ni banki yenyu because through your shares, you have bought shares in Caritas Microfinance Bank. So you are shareholders. So hii ni banki yenyu na ambayo mnafaa kuwa mkijivunia. This is a bank like any other. When you need financial services, upscaled financial services, unakuja kwa bank. Kwa mfano, uko na biashara. You have a small business and you need a loan of 200,000. What do? You come to Caritas Microfinance Bank. Our officers here at Donholm branch wanakuja kwa biashara yako. Wanaangalia uko na mali gani kwa biashara yako, si ndio? Wanaangalia vitabu zako, wanaona vile umekuwa ukiendelesha biashara. Based on that, you are given a loan based on vile tunaona transactions zako zinaendelea na vile unafanya biashara zako. Tunaelewana mpaka hapo? We have other packages that we do. For instance, you have rental income, si ndio? Rental income unakuja kwetu, tunakaa chini, tunakuwa na mkataba in such a way that your rental income inapita kwetu. Tunaelewana? Badala ya kupita kwa hizo bank zingine ambazo sitataja, inapita kwetu. Of course within 6 months tutaona huyu mtu ni mtu ana biashara yake inaenda vizuri. We shall be able to look at your statement for 6 months and see how much has been going through. Based on that, tutakupatia loan. Of course the loan itaangalia hiyo ile pesa inapita through, si ndio? Then based on that tutakupatia loan. Kama ni nyumba ingine unataka kuongeza, kama ni kagorofa ingine unataka kuongeza, utafanya nini? Utaongeza. Tunafikishana mpaka hapo. Vijana, kuna Uber. Unataka kuweka Uber, si ndio? Unakuja kwetu kama umeidentify hiyo gari. Once you come to us and you have identified that vehicle, we shall be able to purchase that vehicle for you. The only condition itakuwa ni kwamba hiyo logbook itaandikwa jina yako na jina ya bank, si ndio? Na sisi bank tukae na logbook, si ndio? Wewe endelea na biashara. Si utakuwa ukilipa vile unalipa. Si siku itafika ambayo utamalizana na hiyo loan. Then vile tulikuwa tumecharge hiyo logbook into both names, tutakurudishia sasa ikuwe kwa jina yako. Sawa mpaka hapo. So the bank is there for you. The bank is there to assist you in all things. The bank is there to assist you in anything that you need to do. Sio lazima uende kwa hizo bank zingine. Kuja kwa hii bank na itakusaidia. Now, two things. Number one, si hapa kuna agency chini, si ndio? Tungependa kuwe na agency kwa kila outstation ya hii kanisa, kwa kila area na kila mahali. Vile unaonaga biashara hapa iko chini, tunataka tuwe na agencies huko nje. So, ukiona unaweza kuwa na agency. Na kusema hivyo ni kusema pengine uko na biashara yako, uko na M-Pesa shop, ama uko na biashara ingine. Uko na mahali unaona unaweza weka agency, hata kama ni bookshop. So, unaweza kuwa na bookshop hapa na pande hii uko na agency, si ndio? So, if you feel you're capable of opening an agency, tafadhali, hapa chini tuko na watu ambao watakusaidia. Just give your contacts. Actually, the gentleman here, Peter, maybe unaweza simama. Peter Getonga works at our Donholm branch. So, he's the one ambaye atakusaidia in terms of agencies. Kama unataka kufungua pay bill kwa biashara yako, yeye ndio tuko naye hapa leo. So, anything that you need, atakusaidia na atafanya nini? Ata make sure umepata hiyo. Tunataka kufikia watu wengi. You open accounts with us. You open agencies with that. So Peter will assist you. That's number one. Number two, ndio nimalizie. Si nimepewa 15 minutes. Na si already nimeongea dakika 2:30 ama muangalie masaa. Oh, 5, nimeongea 5. Kwa hivyo niko na 10. Na si mi wakili. So, second one is about mashamba. About nini? Mashamba. About mashamba. Self-help, unless uchukue loan uende ununue shamba. Si nimeambia nimekuwa zone rep miaka 7, si ndio? Kwa hiyo mambo ya self-help ni kama ninaelewa, si ndio? In fact, the self-help guidelines and policies review ya 2016 na ya 2020 nilikuwa huko. Ile guideline mnatumia hapa ukiangalia utakuta Kinyanjui imeandikwa wapi? Hapo. So, the self-help program does not in any way advocate for the self-help groups kununua nini? Mashamba. Lakini sisi ni bank, si ndio? Through the guidelines of Central Bank of Kenya, we have been able to get partnerships. One of the partnerships we have, and I'll invite him to talk to you, is from Optiven. Si mshaisikia Optiven? Mshaisikia Optiven, eh? Sasa ile understanding ambayo tuko nayo na Optiven, we signed with Optiven about 2.5 weeks ago. And I think this is the first group ambayo nimeleta watu wa Optiven. Ni mambo ya zile ploti wako nazo. He will explain mahali ploti zao ziko. Now the beauty is that we have looked as a bank. Si nyinyi ni shareholders wetu. Si first of all lazima tuongee na nyinyi kabla tuende huko nje. Hata kama wanasema maguta, kabla maguta iende huko, sinaanzia hapa. We have a package whereby ukitaka kununua hii plot through Optiven, you can use, we'll finance you 70%. Sio inakuwa ni kawaida. We'll finance you 70%. 30% you can either A, pay a deposit cash wewe mwenyewe, or B, if you have got shares. Si uko na shares? Si ndio? Tunazitaga free shares. Uko na share minus loan minus guarantors. Hizo ndio zinakuwa ni free shares. You can utilize your free shares as a deposit for that plot. Nirudia na Kiswahili. Unaweza tumia hizo free shares kama deposit ya kununua nini? Plot. Tunaelewana mpaka hapo? Niende kwa lugha nyingine ama hiyo imetosha? Si imetosha? But tunaelewana. So what we have for you is that you can utilize your free shares as a deposit to get that plot. ukishaleta hiyo, tukishaandikiwa barua through the office of Madam Chair, and by the way Madam Chair, congratulations. The last time tulikutana na wewe ulikuwa tu an ordinary member na kuugua, si ndio? Lakini sasa uko sawa, wewe ndio unaongea. Umekanyagia 700 million. Tunaelewana mpaka hapo? Stoki hapa bila kukuona. Huwezi kuwa mna 700 million na nitoke tu hivi hivi. So, I repeat again before Muli of Optiven comes. You can use your shares. You can use your shares as a deposit to buy that plot, so that unabaki ukilipa hiyo 70%. Tunaelewana? And that is a message we are giving here. When you are getting a plot, there are two things. Number one, kuna kitu inaitwa processing fee. Si lazima kuwe na processing fee. Processing fee usually huwa ni 3% kwa bank. But because we are funded by you, we reduced by 1%. Processing fee inakuwa ni 2%. Tunaelewana? Kuna insurance in case of anything happening, si ndio? Si hata kuna LSF. LSF inakuwa gani? 1%. Sasa hii yetu ni less than hiyo 1%. It ranges between 0.6 and 0.8%. So all those details uko nazo, na mwenye atakuwa interested, again, Peter yuko hapa. Peter will take your details down there. Useme, mimi, this is my name, this is my telephone number. I would wish to get more information. You will get that more information. Unalewana? Now, for the remaining 8 minutes, let me hand over to Chris Muli. Muli comes from Optiven. Optiven ndio wanatupatia hizo maploti. I know there are brochures that are going around ambazo wata explain. So Muli, the floor is yours. Si tumpigia makofi kidogo. Mtu ambaye anatuletea ploti ambayo ziko bei nzuri na ambazo tumepatiana ka discount kizuri. Si iko sawa kabisa. Karibu Muli. Uko na dakika ngapi? Amesema uko na dakika 15. Tano, si 15.
Good afternoon. My name is Muli. I'm here representing Optiven. Optiven is a real estate company. We've been in business for over 23 years. Shamba zetu ziko kila pembe la hii taifa. Tunaweza sema kutoka upande za Malindi, tuko na Nakuru, tuko Eastern, tuko Central, mali yote unaweza fikiria. Sasa kwa leo niko hapa kuintroduce hii kampuni yetu, na hii partnership tumekuwa nayo na Caritas Microfinance Bank. Venye mkubwa amesema hapa, Caritas ni banki yenu, na tukoona ni vizuri pia tukuje tuwasalimie, tuibe wakati kidogo kwa hii forum ilikuwa inaendelea, lakini at least muwe mmetoka kama mnajua ni nini inaendelea kingine kwenu. Sasa partnership yetu na Caritas Bank inawapatia benefits mara kadhaa, lakini nitaongelea kwa hile inatuhusu sisi. Ya kwanza ni mnaweza nunua properties through Caritas Bank at a discount, na zaidi ya hiyo tunawapatia discount zaidi ya 3%. Kwa hiyo ni deal, hakuna kampuni nyingine ama partners wengine tumewapea. Hiyo ni mzuri. 3% ni pesa mzuri. Angalia kwa 1 million hiyo ni pesa ngapi umekuwa umesave. Pesa mzuri, sio? Kwa hivyo tuko available through Caritas, through the self-help groups. Tutakuwa tunajadiliana nao zaidi, pia watujue na wajue ni nini tunafanya. Through Caritas Bank na the officials wa self-help groups, mtakuwa mnaweza kuambia ni upande gani mko na interest na property, na tutaorganizia ni vipi mtaenda muone hizo properties, na tunaweza anza process immediately. Hii deal yetu kati yetu na Caritas Bank inawapatia nafasi muweze kulipa property kwa muda mrefu. Kwa sisi huwa tunauza property yetu na cash. Kwa hivyo naweza wapatia mfano moja. Tuko na Achievers Gardens Kimuka. Hiyo tunauza 1.995, tuseme tu milioni 2. Hata kama mtu ako na hii pesa kwa bank, anaweza nipa yote mara moja. Hakuna matumizi mengine, sio? Sasa Caritas Bank inaweza wapatia muda kutoka 36 months up to 60 months. Inategemea pia na uwezo wako. hiyo ni nafasi ya kila mtu aweze kuwa na property yake ya kuishi na pia ya biashara. Tuko na kati ya plot zetu kwa kila project, tuko na upande ya commercial, mali mtu anaweza jenga shule ama shopping center ama chochote kenye anaona kinaweza mpatia biashara, ama apate mahali pazuri pale anaweza jenga nyumba ya familia yake. Kwenda zaidi ya hiyo, Caritas Bank wanawapatia nafasi waweze kuwa finance kutoka kununua ploti mpaka kujenga nyumba yako iishe. Makofi kwa Caritas Bank. Niko na mengi na ningependa nipewe masaa mengi, lakini nitakatia hapo juu hii forum haikuwa yangu. Hizo karatasi mko nazo tafadhali pitieni. Namba zetu ziko hapo chini, kuna pia website zetu. Hiyo ni ya Optiven na Caritas Bank. Mnaweza ingia kwa hizo websites mujue zaidi ile nimewapea. Na niko hapa na niko na timu yangu hapa, tutabaki nyuma. Mkimaliza kama mko na maswali tafadhali mtukaribie na tuweze kuwapatia mawaidha zaidi. Kuna mtu yote ako na swali kabla sijatoka?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Now, I heard about buying property. My question is, what about developing the property? Do you have anything you can tell us?
Yes, there's plenty to tell you. In this partnership, thank you, madam, for the question. In this partnership, it's all inclusive. Pale uta-identify property yako. Caritas Microfinance Bank itatembea na wewe kutoka kununua ploti mpaka kumaliza kujenga nyumba yako. Our product is all inclusive. Something maybe I need to mention about project zetu. Project yetu si shamba peke yake. Hatutenda kungangana kutafuta beacons. Properties zetu zote ziko na fence, ziko na mabarabara, zimewekwa beacons, kuna caretakers, kuna maji, tunapanda miti. Hivyo ni mahali tu unaenda tu unajenga nyumba yako hapo hapo. Kila ploti iko na maji, maji imefika kwa kila ploti. Kwa hivyo tu ni kulipia mita na kuanza ujenzi wako ama kuendelea kuishi. Ma'am, have I answered your question? Okay.
Hello.
So because of time, Auntie, kindly you can follow me and then I can give you more information on the same. If that is okay. My time is up. Tafadhali mtu yote akona swali, chukua nafasi hii, tujuane na tuweze kuanza hii safari na wewe. Asanteni.
Poleni kwa sababu hiyo. Kama uko na swali kuhusu mambo ya Optiven, utaelezewa, utauliza hapo nje wako bado. Ningependa kuwashukuru sana kuja siku ya leo na kujinyima hiyo wakati kufika hapa. Asanteni sana kuhudhuria huu mkutano. Lengo ya hii mkutano ilikuwa kuhusu kuongea juu ya insurance, ya health insurance yako. Na kama member, sio vizuri umesave pesa yako ile ambayo umejinyima kwa muda miaka 5, 10, 2 ama hata 20. Kuna wale wamesave miaka mingi, alafu ukipatikana na ugonjwa unakuja unatoa savings zako, unafanya nini? Kwenda kujitibu. So yangu ningependa kuwaomba tafadhali kile maelezo hapa na George na Martin mufuatilie, mtilie maanani. Kama hujaelewa kitu tafadhali kuja kwa ofisi na utaweza kusaidika. Kama kwa ofisi tutashindwa kusaidia, tutaweza kwa George na Martin waweze kukuelekeza kama ungependa kuongeza, kama ni outpatient ama kitu yote ungependa kuulizia. Kwa pamoja hapo. So yangu ni kuwashukuru sana. Kinyanjui, asante sana kuja. Though utaniona baadaye, utanipatia kakitu. Watu wa Optiven, if at all members wamefurahishwa na mambo ya mashamba, kuna wakati nyuma kidogo kuna watu tuliita but through the bank sababu self help haiwezi uza shamba, sawa, ama kupitia kwa kanisa. So bank ndio wakubali watu kuuza shamba, wanakuwa wameshafanya nini, wameita ni due process, nasemio due diligence. Thank you. So wanakuwa wamefanya due diligence. So ikifika kama mtasema pesa ya kikundi ama pesa yako ambayo ilikuwa kwa kikundi imefanya nini, imepotea, hapa kile tunafanya tunakuwezesha kusave pesa yako na uweze kujiendeleza. Unaweza chukua loan, unaweza jisimamia ama unaweza simamiwa. So in case kutakuwa na hitaji ya watu kununua shamba ama Optiven wakitaka tu organize, watakuja watueleze, tujipange na tutawaelezea vile tumepanga tu hapa, kama ni kupitia announcement kwa kanisa ama kuna SMS kwa pamoja hapo. Kuna yote ako na swali ama maoni kuhusu mambo ya health?
Asante Wycliffe. Hii ilikuwa tu ni swali langu la mwisho. Ilikuwa swali langu la mwisho na ilikuwa ni kwa Martin. Nimefurahia sana kwanza vile team imeleta watu wakatuzungumzia juu ya bima, kitu mzuri sana. Kile nilikuwa nataka kusema ni hiyo bima vile nimeisikiza mwanzo hadi mwisho, nimesikia ni kama hakuna exclusions. Kwa hivyo naona pengine ni friendly sana na nafurahia. Kama hakuna exclusion, naweza sema it is the best cover tunaweza tukakwaya kama kanisa. Asante.
Karibu bwana Kadogo. Sasa anaitwa, mimi namjua kama Kadogo, though amejiintroduce kama Francis. Nilikuwa nataka kuulizia mtu ambaye atatoa vote of thanks. So sijui kama ni vote of thanks ama mtu mwingine za tupatia vote of thanks. Amalizie.
Na amenileta hapa mbele. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Haya, salamu kwanza hizo za mahewa hizo tunaziita hardware. Nashukuru kwanza wafuasi wote ambao wamekuja, na tunasema ni asanteni sana. Na vile tulikuwa tumeelezewa hapo awali, si ati tulikuwa hatuna vitu za kufanya, lakini wiki alisema kila mtu alikuwa na jambo lake, lakini tumejitolea kuja hapa. Kwa hivyo kwanza shukrani zangu za kwanza ni kwenyu kwa members ama sisi members wote kwa kuweza kuhudhuria huu mkutano. This was a very important session. Ile ningesema time was just too short. Vile hata tumesikia kuna watu wengi hapa Kinyanjui pia hapa angetuzungumzia sana, na tumemjua karibu zaidi ya miaka 7. Tulikuwa naye kitambo sana hapa, na yeye ndio alifanya tukaweza tukajoin hii scheme. Ya pili nitaleta kwa ofisi ambao walikuwa wameorganize hii siku, na tunasema ni asante wiki na timu yake yote. Chairlady hapa Gishimo pia najua ni incoming ambaye anakuja, wote tunasema ni asante. Tunasema pia ni asante kwa Caritas team ambao wamefika hapa, tunasema tunawashukuru sana. Na vile tumeambiwa pia wa mashamba hapa wenyewe wamekuja, na tutawaita wa mashamba tutaorganize vile tumesikia kutoka kwa viongozi ama new team ya Gishimo watatuarrange hiyo siku, kwa sababu nakumbuka kuna wakati hapo awali, sijui Kinyanyuko nakumbuka, kuna wakati tulikuwa tumeambiwa tunaweza pata mashamba, na sijui mambo yalienda aje, yakakuja yakatulia kabisa chini kweli. Asanta. Kinyanyuko nakumbuka, na pia si tunakumbuka. Kwa hivyo tutapanga hiyo, tunataka development kabisa, tunataka maendeleo. Yengine pia tutasema ni asante kwa fundi wa mitambo, DJ wetu huyo mwenyewe anaitwa Mtakatifu Paulo mwenyewe, ndio tunamuita DJ bunduki wetu hapa kwa Assumption. Makofi kwa DJ Assumption FM. Ndio huyu tuorganizia vitu zote, na yeye ndio provider wetu wa siku kama hii ya leo. Kwa hivyo tunasema pia ni asante. Mnaona leo mko live kabisa. Mko live, mnaonekana leo kwa runinga. Tunasema asanteni sana. Mnajua TV yetu ni gani? Hebu mniambie. Asante. TV yetu ndio hiyo kweli, ni Assumption TV. muko live nyumbani na tunasema ni asanteni sana. Mimi sitachukua muda mrefu. Majina ni John Francis Kadogo, vile umesikia wiki pia akasema namjua kama Kadogo, lakini ni mtu mzima ndani ya nyumba. Assumption FM 99.4. Ukiwa na ujumbe mfupi nitumie kwa nambari 22345 ukianza na neno Caritas. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Mwe na siku njema.
Asante sana Kadogo. Na in case wewe uko kwa hii area Umoja ama unatoka mbali, ni MC mzuri sana. Nime-enroll class, nimemwambia, so nangoja nitumie fee structure. Sawa. So mostly kukiwa na harambee, kukiwa na harusi ama kitu yote, atakufanyia kazi mzuri sana. Sasa kumalizia, ningependa yule ambaye atajitolea kutuombea, alafu tufunge siku ya leo.
Twasema asante, twasema asante, ewe Mungu, ewe Mungu wangu, Alfa na Omega, Alfa na Omega,
wewe ni
Alfa na Omega, ewe Mungu wangu. Tuamini na tuombe. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Almighty and ever-living Lord, we give thanks for this day. We started with our thanksgiving for the providence of our lane that we prayed for. Father King Almighty, as we come to the end of this meeting, we can say you are all and you will be our provider as we move on to the next level to take care of our good health, of our families, and of our siblings. Father King Almighty, we give thanks to our members, we give thanks to the management, we give thanks to our Caritas team for guiding us until this moment. As we break, Father, be with us. We pray for journey mercies. And as we finish, we say, glory be to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Say it was in the beginning, is now, and God without end. Glory be to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. It was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Say it was in the beginning, shall be, world without end. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Asanteni.
Asanteni sana. Kwa wale ambao wanaenda, in case ungependa kupata presentation ya leo, unaweza acha email address hapo kwa desk mahali walikuwa wafanya registration, alafu utatumiwa kwa email. Mko na weekend njema.
Kama vile mboni ya jua.